Well, forget Al-Qaeda on the run. It just overran a major airport and oil terminal in Yemen. Uh-oh. Welcome, everybody. I'm Neil Cavuto. And just weeks after a jailbreak that freed one of its top commanders, Al-Qaeda just seizing major ground in southern Yemen. Defense Secretary Ash Carter saying the threat is not just there.
This is a group that, as you indicated, as I indicated earlier, does show determination to not only fight on the ground in Yemen, which is what you referred to, but also strike at the United States.
To former Army helicopter pilot Amber Smith on just how big a threat this is. Well, apparently bigger than we appreciated 24 hours ago, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. This was a major victory for Al-Qaeda in Yemen, with gaining control over this significant infrastructure, the airport, the seaport, and then this oil terminal as well. But what we have to remember is that Al-Qaeda has they were hit pretty hard a few years ago when there was this very aggressive counterterrorism campaign with U.S. Special Operations and the Yemeni forces, and they knocked them down for a while. But now Al-Qaeda is taking advantage of this failed state, of the essential proxy war that's going on between Iran and Saudi Arabia, and they're going to look to gain back some of what they lost during that campaign.
I'm wondering too, Amber, whether they're taking advantage of this attention deficit as we're supposedly focused on getting ISIS out, that they're just messing things up in their own little world.
Yeah, they are. They are really looking to gain back that influence. And as you said, there's almost competition going on in the terrorist world right now. ISIS is getting this worldwide attention for the caliphate that they are attempting to create inside Iraq and Syria. And Al-Qaeda has sort of not been in the spotlight for some time. And they're definitely attempting to seek that back. And so they're going to do whatever they can to sort of turn back into that major player on a world stage.
Well, we saw proof of that in the Charlie Hebdo attacks in Paris. I mean, so we know they're alive and well. In fact, what you and I were saying during the break is these groups have now come out of the woodwork like cockroaches. And, you know, when you think of ISIS teaming up with Boko Haram, it's like a reverse Avengers going on, of bad guys.
Yeah, it really is, and let's not forget that President Obama just last year basically touted Yemen as a success story for counterterrorism operations, and basically that part of the Middle East he thought was great. And look at what we have now, a failed state. That's what leading from behind gets you.
But Saudi Arabia supposedly was in the process of sending thousands of troops, up to 150,000. Obviously they're not all there, but this is a bigger situation than we appreciate.
Yeah, if Saudi Arabia is going to lead this U.S.-backed coalition of these global states against the fight against the Houthis, the Iranian-backed Houthis, they need to remember they don't need to be blurring the lines about who their enemy is. Just because Al-Qaeda and Saudi Arabia are both fighting the Houthis, they need to be taking advantage of basically stopping ISIS in their tracks as well. When they just took over this major infrastructure, they need to be targeting them directly and taking out Al-Qaeda instead of just looking the other way because they're both fighting the same enemy.
Amazing. Amber, thank you very much. Former U.S. Army helicopter pilot Amber.